wonderful morning. We're coming live from the living room. I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Happy hump day. It is August 6th. And it is a hot day here in Florida, and much like the rest of the country, I'm sure everybody is blazing. So I'll wait for a few people to get into chat. It's nice to see you all this morning. Do not forget to take the we have a poll going on right now, and we'll be getting started shortly once we have some people in here, because I'm running the channel. I can't run a whole lot when I'm in this stuff, but I can. Let's do, what do you guys feel like? What should our giveaway be today? Coffee cup. I think a coffee cup. Not this coffee cup, but a Bullhorn Betty coffee cup. Maybe that's what we'll do. Let's see here. What would we need to make a coffee cup a reality? Okay. BHB coffee cup. All right, there we go. Start a goal. I think only, hold on, I think I only set it for a half hour. Dad burn it. Oh, well, no, I got it for an hour, so we got an hour. If we can hit our goal, we will give away a coffee cup, a Bullhorn Betty coffee cup. I think you should take the one that has Delilah's face on it personally, but I'm, partial to the cute, adorable face. Why are you hiding? She's over there hiding behind pillows right now. Good morning. It's nice to see everyone. Lisa, Melanie, I hope you are doing well. Give your fur baby a big hug and kiss from me. Adrian, it's nice to see you. Dawn, Kendra, Marie, Chantel, Tina, it's nice to see you. Kathleen, Denise, did I set this right? Hold on a second. Cheyenne, YouTuber, Mama, it's nice to see you. Peggy, good morning. Crystal Pistol, I think I said hi to you. Chaos, hey love, I hope you're doing well. Texas Cowgirl Up. Lisa, it's nice to see you. Dark Princess, Rod, Groovy Gal, Michelle, Judy, it's nice to see you lovely ladies. I hope you're doing well. I'm still recovering from, the work that I did. I've got horrible backbones. From my neck down to my tailbone is just, it's just rough. But long story short is I still get around. I still do whatever I need to do. But when I do what I need to do, it typically hurts me. And so I'm in a very much of a nursing type of situation right now. And the only thing that's been nursing me is the licks of Delilah. I still have to make my food. I still have to get up here and, tidy things up, whether I feel good or don't feel good. So I'm thankful I'm not sick, but I don't get sick anymore. I haven't been sick in a really long time, but it doesn't take away my pain. It doesn't take away the pain that I'm in. And I just suffer with it. I don't really pop anything because I'm so worried about what it would do to my freaking liver and kidneys and everything else. I haven't had the most savory life, When I was younger, I didn't care about the kidneys or the liver, okay? Now that I'm a little older, I worry about what I did when I was in my 20s that might have hurt my liver or my kidneys, okay? So I'm trying to be good to my body now, okay? From the destruction that I put it through. Good gracious. Good gracious. So good morning, guys. It's nice to see you all here. We're going to be covering the case of Sebastian Rogers. Before we do, hey, Lisa, me and you, it's nice to see you. Before we kind of kick off, I did want to... Her and Emily are talking. I can hear her. Are you two done conversating through the door? She knows you're in the house. We'll get you out there very soon. Delilah, knock it off. If you guys hear that little bark in the background, that's Emily trying to talk to Delilah, and Delilah is now talking back to Emily. I've got a conversation between two blessed chihuahuas and a freaking closed front door. Are you guys done with your conversation? Can I get on with my show? We'll be out there with her soon enough. Would you stop it? It's just getting a little ridiculous. The door's shut. We'll wait until they finish their conversation. Hold on. It has been solved. The conversation between the dogs, because we can't understand dog. So Emily was letting Delilah know that somebody had just pulled up in the front yard to deliver a package. And so they were kept talking back and forth about the guy in the front yard. I didn't see the guy in the front yard, but apparently Emily was telling Delilah that somebody was here to drop off a package, and I couldn't figure out what they were talking about. So then we hear the doorbell. We'll make sure that this is not like, what is this? It finally arrived. You guys are going to kill me. You guys can't kill me that much, okay? It is official. I forgot I ordered this. I'm just saying, I just like to support the state of Florida every opportunity that I can get. I'm sorry if it offends some of you guys. I understand the offensiveness of it at times. But, you know, I'm a smart ass. And any opportunity that I can, you know, support a good cause and piss off a few people and maybe be a little pimple on the butt of a politician here and there, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So Delilah was letting me know that I had a delivery. If you guys are all about my life and want to know what my delivery is, there it is. I ordered this. I forgot I ordered it. I ordered it like 2 weeks ago. So as you can imagine, life, you know, goes on. This is awfully big. What size did I get? I thought I got a woman's large. This looks like a man's large. This thing, like, look at this thing. It swallows me. Do we have a seamstress in the chat? We're gonna have to do some alterations. That's a big shirt. At least we don't have to worry about anything, you know, anything being seen. Okay. What a fun morning so far. All right, we need to get back to work. So now that Delilah's conversation with the neighbor dog is officially over, so we're talking about the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case, which is a case that we have been covering for a significant amount of time. We have been covering this case since like the middle to end of March of 2024. So we've been here for quite some time. We're in August right now. We're August 6th, as a matter of fact. So he has been gone from February to February, which was one solid year. Then you got 13 months, 14 months, 15 months, 16 months, 17 months. And we're about to hit the 18-month milestone. And this is a milestone we don't want to reach. The 2-year milestone we don't want to reach. We want these people, sleep shirt, come on, Rod. You know I'm going to be wearing this to a county commissioner meeting. Now that I finally got freaking DeSantis pulling all these people, and he's going through our systems. He's telling these counties they're collecting entirely too much money in property taxes. That's basically what this is about. We're fighting back. We're going to get our property taxes under control. I recommend the rest of the country do the same, but you know what? I can't force people to do what's right for them or their communities, but I'm going to continue to do what's right for my communities, and my county commissioners pissed me off. So I haven't been at county commission meetings. When they know I go silent, shit starts happening. They don't like that. I remove myself from the situation and do all the crap I need to do behind the scenes, but I will get that board in check real quick. And right now we're in the process of not just here, but all over the state of Florida. So I'm very excited to find out. But it's got awfully funny. The first place they started was Manatee County. Just saying. Just saying. So very thankful for that. Very thankful for that. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is a 15-year-old boy, like I said, when he disappeared on February 24th, 2024. Excuse me, February 26th, 2024. We didn't really know what was going on, and we can understand why at first. I mean, if we're going to be talking matter of fact, let's be matter of fact. Manatee Mommy, it's so pathetic what shows this has turned. Pathetic what who are you? Are you talking about the Sebastian case, Manatee Mommy? Because yes, I agree with that 100%. Absolutely agree with that 100%. So what we have here is a situation where at first it could have. We didn't know Sebastian. We knew that he was autistic. Let's be honest. If we're talking about autistic children, what are we so common in reading in the newspapers? An autistic child got out, wandered out of their house, and wandered to water and drowned. That typically is a lot of the stories we hear throughout this country, is that autistic children gravitate toward water and love water. The mob crew has put out KK putting on earbuds in the car after the Texas Roadhouse. We need to identify all, like I see there's something in the window. I want to know what that is in the window, the earbuds. I also saw that it appears that, you know, I know that there was a possibility of 2 phones, but there's multiple items in that car that I can see that look electronic-y. And I would like to clarify that. Earbuds, yeah, that's a little odd for me because she's in an Infiniti, like just like, you know, most of our vehicles, we go in there with our phone, they connect to the system in the car versus us putting independent earbuds in. You know, that is definitely highly suspicious, but, you know, Mob Crew, as well as Hindsight, Mama Rissa, BMW Coupe, they've all been kind of really honing in on the Texas Roadhouse. That Texas Roadhouse, and in all reality, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to backtrack here and get back onto the show, but just to answer the question or make the comment, they've been really pushing, you know, this Texas Roadhouse, something not being right there. And, you know, there was a conversation I had, and I don't want to, you know, how do I couch this? I don't want to violate anybody's trust, and I think the commentary I'm making will not, because it wasn't a private conversation or something that was, you know, whatever. But you guys know I'm always a matter of fact person, and that means even to the victim's family. If I work with them or have, you know, even if they called me or whatever, and I'm working on a case, I'm just a matter of fact person. I don't sugarcoat anything, not even for the families. I'm just a very matter-of-fact person. And so the reason why I'm going through this is because I did have a conversation with Seth. It was one of our very first conversations. Probably, maybe not the very first, but the very first face-to-face conversation we had. I remember his very, very specific question to me was, "Are you looking for my son, dead or alive?" And I'm not going to repeat that conversation. I'm sure you guys can imagine what I told him. And I'm sure that you guys are probably, you know, some of you guys might agree or disagree. I'm just the kind of person that, you know, I've got nothing to really hide here. And I know the stuff that I do is sensitive. But I find that sugarcoating things just complicates things. I feel that people deserve just the truth, my truth. If they're asking for what I'm thinking or what I'm doing, that's what I'm going to give them because they're asking that. And so I told him what I was, you know, what condition I thought his son was in. But later, down the road, him and I got into a conversation. And he basically told me that he knows that Katie hates him. But he does not believe that he hates him enough to harm their child, unalive their child. And in my opinion, it's hard to say it, but I dismissed it. Okay, so let me just be honest with you guys too. I pretty much wrote that aspect off because I think Katie Proudfoot is a psycho bitch. Son, you can throw if you guys want to help out, because I don't have a button here and I'm not going to hold back. I thought that because of her violent tendencies, the fact that she's got some psychological issues, and she has a history of violence, unprovoked violence. According to Seth, when I interviewed him, he talked about some type of violence, but he didn't really tell us what it was. We learned later that there were times that he'd be asleep and Katie would just start wailing on him and wake him up with him getting like punched all over. And that's pretty telling about somebody's personality, psychological behaviors, their normal behaviors, who they are. Those are some telltale signs. Normal people don't see a sleeping spouse and think, hey, let me jump on him and beat the crap out of him. Just normal people don't do that. So it gives me this level of, a little of insanity, if you will. But you know what? In all fairness, some relationships just bring that out in people. No? Aw, thank you, Melanie. Everyone, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for BHB. And Betty, I hope your back feels better soon. Thank you. It's getting better. It's hard to lift my arms up. Like even I was doing a video today and I have to put it on the tripod. And usually I'm just over here just doing things like this. And it's bothering me so bad I have to undock. That's why I brought the computer out, is because I have to undock the phone in order to use it, because my arms are starting to hurt. It's starting to be, it's uncomfortable. It's not like, excruciating, disabling pain, which occasionally I do have, but it is just annoying, nagging. Just every time you turn, you feel pain. Pain, right? It's not excruciating, but it's there, and it's there all the time. Every single breath you take, every single step you make, it's just there. It's annoying, it's frustrating, it's just irritating. And I think that's where I'm at. But psychotic episodes, serious, bipolar even, there's a lot more here. Think about the psychology. One of the reasons why, let's just play this tape through. Let's have a serious conversation. One of the reasons why we do what we do here on this show is to prevent tragedy. One of the reasons why we focus on children is to bring awareness to disgusting behaviors and torments that children have to go through and live through. And we know that those torments affect their adulthood, affect the rest of their life, affect the trajectory that their life is going to go. And we know that certain types of crimes have a tendency to screw up individuals. And so we try very hard to expose those people and make sure we apply enough public pressure to law enforcement and the people, courts, juries, everybody. We wanted them to know that we're here, we're watching every single move, we've got big platforms, and we can blow stuff up, figuratively speaking, on these apps. And so we push back with the public perception aspect of these cases. And we try to hold the politicians and the people that have to take and prosecute these cases, their feet to the fire, so they go after these people with the full weight of the law. Well, in situations from way back when, these things, just like spousal abuse, right? It's taken a lot of women losing their life to show the dangers of spousal abuse and having once upon a time, all the men beat their women. Okay? This idea that this is just, oh my God, it's ingrained in many upbringings across this country, because that's what it was. want to get into other conversations because it'll spiral out of control because of, you know, emotional stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, it was less uncommon that a man didn't hit their wife than it was that they did. Okay, we've come a long way as a society to put ends to this stuff. But there are people that still harm people. Katie was harmed by her mother and by her mother's husband or boyfriend or whatever the case may be. Okay? We know what that does psychologically to children. Most of the children have psychological issues, they have educational issues, they have substance abuse issues, they have violent tendencies, and they typically have alcohol abuse, other, you know, as issues as well. These are the things that come from the exploitation of children. It's not good, and it scars them for the rest of their life. Some kids are able to put it down real deep and just live life normally, and some people it screws up and takes them slap down to the basement of rock bottom. And you never know. It's a flip of a coin because you never know how that's going to affect that child until it's too late. Lisa says, Katie Proudfoot did not want to interact with Sebastian or Seth. In my opinion, she and hashtag Chris Proudfoot were done. I believe it. I believe it. But getting back to that conversation, he really didn't believe she could harm his child. And I'm looking at it from you know, taking the emotional aspect. I didn't have a relationship with this lady. I didn't have a relationship with any of these people. So I'm taking, you know, I don't have that emotional connection, and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at all of these red flags. I mean, she was, you know, assaulted in the most vile way from somebody that was supposed to love her so much. That maybe at that time when she was a young kid, she didn't understand it. But at some point when she did, that's when the effects of what happened start rearing its ugly head, when they start realizing what truly happened to them. And so we have Katie here that has all of these really bad flags in the wrong type of column and a missing child. Now, have there been women that have had children that have undergone what Katie Proudfoot has undergone or went through? Yes. And you know what we find in a lot of these women that aren't reoffenders, or, you know, that are true victims and not victims that turned into perpetrators? They hold their children close. They make sure nothing happens to their children. They have this overprotection, protected need. And that is missing in Katie, and has always been missing in Katie. And how do I know that? Because her son was assaulted in that way in her home when he was 8 years old. She didn't protect him. She didn't have that overprotection that most parents that go through something like that have over their children. And the reason why they have that protection over their children is because they know how easily it was done to them. And they want to make sure that that is never, ever done to their own child. Yet, it happened to Katie, and she allowed it to happen to her young son. There's something wrong here. So that tells me that she's not even paying attention to her son, or that she has this unnatural baggage hanging around her neck from what happened to her, because she thinks it's just life as normal. And that's a concern for me. So getting back to the night of February 25th, and this is kind of where, again, Mama Rissa, Hindsight, BMW Coupe, and some of the commentary from Mob Crew is kind of really consolidated in and around, because when you look at the videos, there's just, and we can all agree, it's just something doesn't appear right, okay? No matter how you look at it, something doesn't appear right there. Katie's looking around very obnoxiously. I don't know what other word. If you find a different word to use than obnoxious, let me know. Hey, Green Brown Eyes. Queen Brown Eyes. Oh, good gracious. I can't even. I can't even read. Good morning, love. Tiffany, good morning. So now that we're kind of in that realm, you know, what was she doing? Is there, you know, we can, even if we disregarded, say, the yellow shirt or the yellow jacket guy or the phone, okay? If we even removed those two things out of the equation and just talked about Katie, Sebastian, and the green hoodie person, that's enough to raise eyebrows. If I had to, if I had to think about it. She's in there. She was weird getting there. She tosses this menu at her son. Remember, she was the one that was saying he had the best day ever, okay? We're not the ones that said, did he really have the best day ever? These are things that fell in our lap. We didn't know one way or another whether he had his best day ever. The only clue that we had a long time ago was when Seth saw Sebastian leaving the restaurant, and he says he didn't appear to be happy. That was his comment. And when I questioned him about that, he said, when we go out to eat, he's smiling. He's happy when we leave. He goes, he didn't seem happy. So we know that something was going on there, but we didn't know what. Then at night, steps in. They start dealing with getting evidence in. And that's when the owners of that Texas Roadhouse decided to allow at night intelligence agency acquire their footage from that night and analyze it. And portions of that had been released immediately. And I think the reason why they released it immediately was try to just see if anybody had anything, to provide or to find or locate other witnesses that were there that night. There were some reasons for it, but they still hadn't released the green hoodie person yet. They had talked about it and indicated that there was some type of communication between Katie and an unidentified individual, and we're like, what? And so we were all chomping at the bit, waiting to find out what in the world they are talking about. And soon we saw just the footage of the interaction around the vehicle, and there was no dispute. There was a lengthy conversation with someone at Katie's vehicle before they got in to leave. And she was obviously comfortable because there was a time when she put her hand on her car and kind of leaned on it, like they're having a conversation. You know how like when you're standing up and you know the conversation is going to be a little longer, you kind of lean over, right? That is exactly what it seemed like. And it sounded like this conversation happened. I mean, think about it. If you ran into somebody you didn't know, where somebody is crouched between the cars, and you say, hey lady, what you doing? They're like, oh, I'm sorry. And they go past you and on their way. You don't have somebody sit there and have a conversation. And then you saw this white or gray shadow appear to exchange from one hand to another. And many people thought that they were exchanging some type of substances that they were going to introduce into Sebastian's system to make him sleep so they could get him out of there. But whatever we were seeing there seemed, now that we're overanalyzing, seems to be that there might have been a covert operation going on in that restaurant. And that's why Katie was so obnoxious in excitement and anticipation that this operation was about to take place. So going back to the conversation I had with Seth and him not believing Katie could harm their child, and then we go back to the comment that Mama Bear brought up the other day, well, a few weeks ago now, about Chris's statement, his odd statement, when Seth told him that him and Sebastian had worked out the issues that they had for the online school and they were okay with it. His comment was, well, it would have been really nice to know. As if that would have changed the outcome that we're in had Chris and Katie known about this. So that's what's leading a lot of people, if everybody is like me and believes that Sebastian Rogers is deceased, and while that is my top leading theory, there are other possibilities, and why I'm constantly bringing up, Mama Rissa and Hindsight, the mob crew and everything, because they're taking an aspect and really running with it that I think you guys need to look at. Because if Seth is accurate and Katie did, hates him, but doesn't hate him enough to unalive his child, Well, then we got an alive Sebastian out there that's being hidden. And if that's the case, who's hiding him? Well, it would have to be a network of people that do this as a job. And so now that's why they're focusing on the intricacies of moving, because of how obnoxious Katie was, how she kept looking around. She didn't appear to know who she was looking for. And that may be because she may never have met this organization personally before. It may have been, you need to go here, you need to do this, you need to leave this here. Somebody will be there to give you instructions out in the parking lot and answer any questions you have. We'll pick, it will be here by this time, we'll have him out by this time, this stuff will go this way, and you need to go home and start doing X, Y, and Z. That is an operation. Now, could this have taken place at that Texas Roadhouse? There is a possibility. And without that being a closed worry box, it's going to continue to be talked about. Now, we watch great law enforcement all around this country. We also watch very poor law enforcement around this country on this show. We love law enforcement. We back the blue. We know that law enforcement aren't superhumans. They're humans. They are going to make mistakes just like the rest of us. And it is a shame that the rest of us have no appetite for other people's mistakes like they have for our own mistakes. And we need to start having a reality check with our law enforcement, because our law enforcement is beaten all to hell, and they're just human beings trying to do their blessed job. But we see good policing all over this country where law enforcement knows it's in their best interest to keep their public engaged, especially when there's a high-profile case or possibility of endangerment to the public. Now, I believe Chris and Katie have harmed this child greatly. We have watched Chris threaten just about everybody that has touched this case with their life. This is a person that I truly believe had a hand in unaliving or disposing of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. That's pretty scary. And while Sumner County has their thumb up their butt and thinks, oh, this is just an isolated incident, think about how many citizens that they have put in jeopardy because of their poor policing, including my own life. Including my own life, because they have allowed this man to rule their county and threaten so many people that they've scared people. Well, they're not scaring me. The only thing I'm doing is tapping out for a little bit. And this is for the court system, because you can only jam me up for so long. But once this is done, I'm going to make sure I execute my First Amendment rights so well that Sumner County will feel my fury. And they're going to sit on that sideline helplessly by, knowing they can't do a goddamn thing about it. Excuse my language, my Christian folks. Pray for me. They're not going to be able to do about it. Just sit there and make sure that I'm protected while I execute my rights. And I'm going to do it so wonderfully. And it's going to be my middle finger to that top brass. But I'm a patient woman. And they know it. They now know that not only am I patient, but I'm very smart. So we're going to be, when we start scaling this back up, we're going to scale it up very, very big. And I hope you guys understand what the issues are going on. But Chris and Katie Proudfoot. Christopher Proudfoot. Let me see if I got a picture of him somewhere. We want to make sure that he's well known here, since he thinks that he has the right to violate people's constitutional rights. Let me go ahead and just make sure everybody knows who I think the murderous assholes are. And I'm going to keep saying that. I know it hurts Seth's feelings, but I don't really give a crap at this point about Seth's feelings when it comes to these pieces of shit. His feelings take a back seat to me being disrespectful and nasty to them on my own show. The only way they're going to see it is if they come over here and see it. This piece of shit. There's one of them. This is Katie Proudfoot. And from what I understand, she may still work for Brink's security system. They could possibly, a security system could possibly have a murderer going into their companies, their customers' homes. a potential murderer. I don't know of any company that I would risk a lady going into somebody's home that could potentially be a murderer. I mean, I don't know. I think Brinks needs to answer for that. I'm not going to ask them. But this is one of the pieces of shit right here. This right here is hashtag Katie Proudfoot. That works for Brinks Security Systems. She installs security cameras. You know, those weird things that they just didn't seem to have around their house the night that their son disappeared. But just like that, they appeared at their house all over after he disappeared. I think this woman harmed her child. It is, in my opinion, that she may even have murdered her kid. And in my opinion, if she murdered her kid, she either beat the shit out of him or strangled him. And in my opinion, that optimism shirt with that perfect thumbprint right there on the neck, it is in my opinion that this crazy bat of a lady, hashtag Katie Proudfoot, is the one that placed that bruise there. But again, just my opinion. But I'll never change my stance until Sebastian is home safely, that this bitch right here is not a murderer. I've given everybody ample opportunity to prove me wrong, and not one person can give me one scintilla of proof that this bee here didn't hurt her son. And nobody has been able to even provide me one scintilla of proof that she wasn't out there in that yard. I provided, actually Nick Barris did, provided that there were people out there. It's coming from their house. They just so happened to have a son missing the next morning. But we're not supposed to say 1 + 1 = 2. It's awfully convenient that nobody knows who the hell's out in the middle of the frickin' yard next to their house, but they have a child missing. And one lone flashlight, just one, running back to the house. And did you know the next morning only one person woke up in the house? I bet you it's that person that was running back to the house with the flashlight. What you bet? And if that's the case, that would mean Katie Proudfoot was out there in that courtyard, that common area. I just want to make sure that everybody, including, hopefully we get some Brinks, you know, what are they, the board of directors, you know, maybe somebody, maybe the CEO, maybe the CFO. Maybe we should hashtag Brinks CFO in here. And hopefully maybe, just maybe, somebody can ask Brinks, what in the hell do they do having a potential unaliver working for them inside houses with children? Just saying. Because I'm telling you, if I found out Brinks put my life in jeopardy or my children's life in jeopardy by having somebody that could have possibly murdered their child up in my house, I would pity any local employee around my community. I would actually pity the local Brinks office around my community, because I will go in there. You would have a loud screaming, how dare you MFers, blah, 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 blah. So much so that the law enforcement will come and I'll be like, they put me in jeopardy. They put my family in jeopardy. Cancel my service. Cancel my service. There's ADT. There's plenty of them out there. Simply say, we don't need Brinks. If this is the best Brinks has got, we don't need Brinks. We don't need Brinks. Let's keep going back. Let's keep going. I think we have one of the POS. I wonder if we got him in I want the baby one. Do we have the baby one? That's perfect for hashtag Chris Proudfoot. Let's see if we can find the baby. Oh, maybe I should ask. What the hell is this? Please tell me, because that surely looks like a face on top of that. And it surely looks like a face down on being held. We can't forget, y'all. We can't forget. I think we're so easy. Where is my... I'm finding it, y'all. You guys know I'm going to find the little baby. I'm going to find the little baby. Come here, little baby. We need to change that smelly diaper. We need to change the smelly diaper. Come here. Come here, stinky baby. I know you're in here somewhere, stinky baby. Why do I feel like I'm going backwards? Because I am. Come on, stinky baby. We got stinky baby. We got diapers we need to change. I know we got diaper Chris in here. Oh, we can go with Granny Panty Chris. We can go with Granny Panty Chris. I'm fine with both. I actually am partial to the shitty diaper Chris. I think the shitty diaper Chris really does kind of embody how the world looks at Christopher Proudfoot. Excuse me, hashtag Christopher Proudfoot. A man that doesn't understand the concept of constitutional rights. He really is dumb. I gotta say, probably the stupidest person I think I've ever set eyes on. The stupidest person I've ever seen try to act like they know what the hell they're talking about. I can run her over. Well, run me over. If it takes my life to put you away for the rest of yours, I'm fine with that. God gave me more life than I expected to live to begin with, so I think I'm doing good. All right, guys, I'm still looking. I know I got shitty diaper Chris. I know I got shitty diaper Chris. All right, keep saying. I want that when I come back to the chat. I want to see shitty diaper Chris. Put the poop emoji with CP's name. Poop emoji. All right, come on, poopy pants. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. I know I've got you somewhere here. Don't tell me I threw you away. I think we got rid of a crap diaper Chris. Dad burn it. Let me see if I got a thumbnail with him on it. Hold on. Can't believe I got rid of crybaby Chris. We're going to have to fix that. That was all unintentional, y'all. You know I would never get rid of that photo. I must have been having to hurry and clean out my phone. Thought I'd give you guys... Hi! Hi, guys! How you doing? We're awake! All right, so I don't want to curse you guys with that. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put that up there. Oh, I'm so sorry. If you guys would like your own Shady Bunch shirt, please reach out to Sonia. Sonia's like, thanks, buddy. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you. Okay, guys, we don't have shitty pants. We don't have shitty pants, Chris. Okay, I'm sorry, but we do have these pieces of crap. I think this is appropriate, right? Like, this is when they chose not to help out in the search for their missing child, chose to go out and feed themselves while everybody was out there busting their butt to work. And when people were outraged about this photo, Chris goes to that restaurant to demand who took that photo. He didn't care. He didn't care about Sebastian or the fact that everybody was outraged. He wanted to know who to blame for showing the world that they're liars. And they don't care about finding their missing child. They have better things to do, like eat and a facade to the world. Do I think Katie is capable of unaliving Sebastian? I absolutely do. Did she? I don't know. Is there violence in the house? Yes. Should that be worrisome? Yeah, because most of the people that send their kids off to these homes and have these organizations, thank you, me and you, I love that. They typically don't beat their children. They typically don't have the Department of Children and Family Services in their house. They just know that their child is out of control and needs a halfway house or a boys' home or something like that, and put that in motion. They don't lie to law enforcement. If this child was in a school, Katie could just say, yeah, I made the choice to ship him off. His father had an opportunity to get him. He's at this school. If his father wants him, go pick him up. We're done. We told him that last year. His behavior has been horrible. We can't do it anymore. He is destroying our marriage. He's destroying our family. We shipped him off to school. But we don't have that. We have this. We have weird behaviors at a Texas Roadhouse, which is leading people to believe that she got rid of her son to somebody else. And then we have the whole situation out on the side of their house where it's showing that a big blob is carrying a big blob to an unknown car. I don't believe there would have been a need for a 3-hour phone call or a 3 a.m. car ride if Sebastian was not in that house. And that's just one of my theories. I have nothing here yet to confirm or corroborate that wholly. And that's why we constantly incorporate the Texas Roadhouse back into the conversation, because we can't let that go because we don't know. But I trust my gut. And my gut is telling me, and it has always told me, that these parents here would not be acting the way that they were acting if their child was safe, if their child was in a home. They would not lie to the FBI. They would not have lied to the TBI. They would not have lied to Sumner County. I truly believe Sumner County is well aware that they've lied to them and has proof that they lied to them, but they failed to arrest them. Why did they fail to arrest them? The reason why they failed to arrest them is they know it's not going to keep them behind bars. And 2, they don't want multiple hearings. Why? Or multiple trials. Why? Because it's costly. And they're broke. So Sebastian doesn't get justice in Sumner County, Tennessee, because they're broke. And even when Eric Craddock had an opportunity to bring money to his case, to Sebastian's case, the greedy son of a bitch went there and begged for him to have a raise. He could give 2 shits about Sebastian. He could care less whether Chris and Katie killed this kid, gave this kid away, whether this kid is abused, being SA'd, ST'd, HT'd. They don't care. And you're not going to convince me that Craddock gives a crap about this child or this case, because he showed the whole world he does not. And even if he wanted to use the excuse, well, I didn't want to interfere with the integrity of the investigation, it doesn't stop you from opening your blessed lips. Eric Craddock is a piece of shit that is protecting Christopher Proudfoot and Katie Proudfoot, in my opinion. And I've got a lot of appearances. And the appearances of impropriety are there. Why there hasn't been an internal investigation, an IA investigation against these animals in the Sumner County Sheriff's Department, I don't know. But it's not my responsibility to hold other politicians accountable. It's you guys that live in these counties that need to be holding these people accountable. If you haven't picked up the phone and you haven't called your mayor and you haven't called your House of Representatives or your state Senate or your local leaders and argued your disdain for the way this Eric Craddock, Mr. Sheriff Struggles is handling this investigation, and you live in that community and you sit here and see us fighting from Florida, from all these other states, and we're fighting to help you, and you guys won't even get up the courage to pick up the phone and make a phone call to help yourself? What can the rest of us really do to help you? If you see this going on in your state, it's your responsibility to be a Betty. And being a Betty is not backing down, but it is following the law. Does it mean we don't get angry and we don't raise our voice? No. Not at all. But when somebody's speaking to us, we treat them with respect. When an officer gives us an order, we follow those orders, those lawful orders. But what we will not do, what we will not do, is we will not back down when we see a major problem. And we see a major problem in Sumner County. We have taken multiple approaches to handle that problem. Many, many of those approaches that are going to stick with them for a little minute. I can guarantee that. But we're hitting this from all fronts. And that's the thing that these other content creators, well, I shouldn't say that. Only one other content creator probably has if not more, boil presentation on the butts of politicians, and it's my ex, as you guys can imagine. He was the best at that. He was the best at applying public pressure to these things. He would probably be far superior than I in that front, but with everything that I've learned, the little tricks of the trade I've learned over the years, it's made me just as impactful. So I use that to my advantage when I can. And it's a call. Like, if this county never violated my rights, they would not be dealing with all the problems. But they chose to be a corrupt county. They chose to do it at such a public level. And I used that, capitalized on that, and exploited the crap out of that. And I am going to throw my temper tantrum until that sheriff is out of office. And I think I'm doing a pretty damn good job at it. I think Sumner County understands they probably kicked the wrong beehive. Just saying. But again, my job is not done in that county until 2028 is over. So they love me so much, they've got me tattooed on their butt, much like I got Sebastian's army tattooed on my shoulder. But where's Sebastian in all this? I went over to, I don't even watch Reddit, but I can't stand Reddit. I think it's just, especially that Bowdy chick. That Bowdy chick is probably the biggest lying piece of shit out there. I've read, thank God to some people out there, you guys are calling her out on her shit left and right. And she's still sitting up there acting like she's a somebody that's a nobody. Baby, you are a nobody, okay? Compared to me, you're this big. And I know she hates that. Oh well, not my problem. Maybe if she was an upstanding, reputable person, she might have a bit better following. But people can see through her crap, and people are tired of being lied to. If you guys haven't noticed, the only channels that are growing in the true crimes are the ones that are actually covering true crimes, not the drama, not the bullshit. Those channels, they have had zero growth. Zero growth. So we're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to advocate for as many victims as we can. But right now, the whole reason why I'm doing this show is I need my prayer warriors. I need my prayer warriors to say a lot of prayers. I'm not going to tell you what's going on today, but we need prayers. Seth needs your prayers. He needs your love. He needs your support. If you haven't been over to his channel and given him some words of encouragement here lately, maybe you should. Maybe you should. Because he deserves our support. Every opportunity we can to support him. I was jammed up. Today I was supposed to be with him. But I had a situation go on in Illinois that cost me more money than I had. I have to budget everything because we still have a lot of attorneys to pay. So I have to make sacrifices, and the sacrifice that was made this month was Sebastian's case and Seth's case. And it's all because of these hate channels. And I want you guys to remember that. These hate channels that you want to go over and look at, don't even give them that view. I hope they do the same thing to their side. Don't even go over to Betty's to give her a view. Don't even look under the hood. Like, I want them to say the same thing for them. I don't want their trash over here. If you're not here for the victims, you don't belong on the Bullhorn Betty channel. You just don't. You're not one of us. You're not one of us. And that's where we need to get that. There are them and there are us. And when there are us, that means we hold ourselves to a little bit of a higher standard. Okay? A little bit. You guys know. Half holy, half hood. You can pray with me, but don't play with me. And I know that my audience is probably a lot like me because the fruit don't fall too far from the tree, right? Birds of a feather. So I know if you guys are here and you like the way that we do things over here, you're probably a similar type of person. You probably have the same type of stripes, is what I'm saying. So, I'd prefer us not arguing. I prefer them just stay on their nasty ass sides of the track and us stay on our side of the track. And just be able to advocate for these children. They don't advocate for nothing. You know what they advocate for? Oh my God, I can't believe somebody is bringing up a missing child. Well, how the hell do you expect the world to know that there's a child missing if we're not supposed to talk about it? They're idiots. Complete, utter idiots. Like their brain fell out when they started smoking and cracking. They're gone. All of them. Stay away from them. They're bad news. And you play in the sandbox, you're going to get fleas. So you get those fleas, you earn those fleas. I'm just saying. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I want you guys to remember that Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is still missing. And despite us not having a good sheriff or sheriff's department or any investigative body actually helping this boy, we are here. We're going to hold them accountable. We're going to kick up all kinds of nastiness for them. It's going to be lawful. It's going to be legal. It's going to be all above board. But they have not heard this fat lady sing just yet. And they don't understand how much of an advocate for missing children I am. This right here is not a case I would have covered. But God brought this case into my path for a purpose. And if you think I'm going to let God down over a sheriff that doesn't mind saying, hey, rape's such a strong word. It's more like a struggle. Dude, you don't deserve, who jokes about that? What idiot? And how stupid, I'm sorry folks, but how stupid of you guys to vote for somebody that says such crap out of their mouth. The whole county should be ashamed that this is their representation. Ashamed! I don't care who you guys put in office. Put somebody else in. But please, do your due diligence this time. Don't go with the popular guy. Go with the one that's going to actually be effective and make changes in your community. Just saying. Might help. All right, guys. I think I beat you up enough. I feel beat up now. I need a shower after that show. I'm just saying. I feel all kinds of dirty, and that's my problem. Every time I talk about these incompetent creatures, I feel filthy because they know better. Ray Whitley's out. Lyington Byington, I think everybody needs to go. If you're an attorney that had Lyington Byington, that's Lisa Byington, sign any affidavit for your case, for your defendant, I would challenge it because I know for a fact that lady lied to a judge in open court and lied on an affidavit. I know that for 100% fact. And she's been with that county for 30 some odd years. How many more has she done that to? If you guys know defense attorneys in that area, send them this. I have the evidence. I will show them where she lied, slapped through her teeth under oath. And if she did that for me, what did she do to get those charges for 30 years for your guys? I would be taking this stuff to the Supreme Court, appellate courts, and everything. That lady was bad news then, she's bad news now, and she's finally kicked to the curb. She'll never be able to do what she did to me to anybody else again. Too bad she gets a retirement and a pension. I would have loved to have taken that from her. A day late and a dollar short. But she will never be able to harm another citizen or outsider to Sumner County again. So it's not just about these cases. I would have loved not to have this war with Sumner County, but they chose to war with me. And that was a bad move because I am a law-abiding citizen, and that was their biggest mistake they could have ever made. I hope Sebastian is found. I hope Eric Craddock is removed from office. I hope that they provide a, I don't know, just, where's my, let's do sorry, let me get in here and do this because I still have the poll. I can't end the poll on this side because it doesn't give me it doesn't allow me to have the poll. Okay, so my question was, do they need Sebastian Task Force in Sumner County? And 81% says yes, and that was out of 332 votes. And that was actually pretty stinking good with the size of our show today. So that's, that's the majority. I think anybody reasonable here believes that Sebastian should have been a priority. And quite frankly, with Chris publicly threatening people with their life, they should have had him arrested long before this. That's why I say they're corrupt. They're protecting Chris and Katie, and I'm not going to stop until Eric Craddock is removed. I want to make sure that that county knows they cannot fuck with outsiders, that they treat everybody, even including outsiders, as citizens, as if they were their own citizens, because that's the way the rest of America works. And until that is instilled across the state of Tennessee, and these backroom deals and this old boys club is broke up, I'm not done with Tennessee yet. I'm done with the bullshit in Tennessee. And I'm done with it affecting these people. People are missing. And they don't even have money to prosecute or search for these people. Enough's enough. We're moving in. We're going to turn things upside down. We're going to shake these trees. And we're going to advocate for a lot. And we're going to push the envelope. Not legally. I have to put that disclaimer on here because I don't want Sumner County saying I'm doing something when I'm not. I'm coming in there lawfully and legally, and I'm going to exercise my constitutional rights until I'm blue in the face, and there ain't going to be a fucking thing Sumner County or their stupid-ass judges are going to be able to do about it. I hope they clip this and bring it before the judge, so the judge can judge me on things that are irrelevant before her. God bless.